Hey, this is Chris at Art Secrets Studio, and today I want to talk about how you capture the message and the essence of the message with the halftone. Just focus on the halftone, let everything else go. Let go of the drawing, let go of the hair, let go of the eyes. Just get the halftone right. The hard part is finding out what is the halftone in your drawing. Well, actually, let's take that step farther. The hard part really is, what's your story about? Because without a story, then it really doesn't matter what you're doing with the halftone. So looking at Ben's drawing here and his photograph, I'm looking at the hat, and it's a great depiction of the hat. They sell these at the grocery store and at certain department stores, and you can buy them everywhere, but it isn't. When I look at the picture, there's an innocence to this little girl, and there's a peacefulness and a calmness to the whole thing. And that's where the halftone exists. So one of the things is, it might be just getting it, and I'm guessing, but I'm giving you an idea. Now, I just had surgery and they told me not to use it. So I'm hoping that when I show up in 2 weeks without charcoal over the whole thing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put a value in here for the shadow side of her face. The flatter it is, the stiller the painting, the feeling will be. So careful with your textured marks. So I'm not gonna put in marks everywhere and then take them out. I'm just gonna keep it soft. And then there's a certain value here between her chin and the background. And then that certain value with the background and the hair might get a little darker. And then how do you, so what's happening is, this is going to be hard to do with this thing on my hand, but the little bit of dark by her chin pops the chin a little bit, just a bit. I got to watch how much though. And then darker on the form of this up here, where the shadow side of that pole sticks out. And then I can take the eraser and I can make the eraser lighter than the background. And that's probably my measuring gauge there, how light this side of the spindle or whatever it is, and how much contrast it's making with the background. But I'm having trouble right now with the painting. Those lines are too sharp. That's bothering me, and it's not soft. And I'm gonna have to cross hatch those lines, which means I'm gonna literally make these zigzaggy lines and go in different directions. I'm not sure my hand's gonna let me do that today. And I'm gonna get rid of this. Ooh, how do I clean that? This is gonna be a rough week. We're like an hour into class for the week. This is not, I wear something to take a shower in. That's not working. But this is bothering me, so I need to cross hatch with the eraser. Something I saw from Benson and different artists, William Merritt Chase, is when you have a softness in one place and you make everything incredibly soft, the best way to make something look soft is put something sharp somewhere else. And again, there's a fuzziness to the line, and there's even a hint of the shading. Ooh, not that dark. There's a hint of the shading in the background, and you're just you play with how much contrast you can have. So what am I after, and why didn't I just put the dark in first? See, that's what a lot of artists would have done right away. Let me just put the dark in first. If I put the dark in first, it tells me that I made a hat look like the hat. But if I focus on only this and take the drawing farther, put her eyes in, I'm just having trouble with that. Put her eyes in, do different things with her, you know, as you start to put her in here and you start to do these little things. If I want that to be soft, I keep playing with it until it's soft. As I start to darken her, as I start to put in her nostrils and I do little things in there and I soften it, if I just play with the things that are soft, then I've maintained a soft feeling. Does that make sense? So my story and my halftone is the softness of the day. Not reproducing the photograph. Where's the illustrator? Come, let me hit you, okay? He keeps, can I have your photograph, please? Yeah, I want the photo, not your drawing. You already got yelled at for that. Okay, so he's a big Lord of the Rings fan. And I'm sorry, I don't know the names. It's Smeagol?
Yeah.
Are you just saying that so I move on?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Smeagol and Gollum. Okay, one of them is good, the other's bad. And what's really powerful in the video is this cutting into my 4 minutes? What's really powerful in the video is when one of them would talk, the camera would be going this way and then the camera's going this way. So whenever they were holding on to the ring, he would always be saying the ring is his precious master good. And when you guys look at the photograph, you start to be consumed. And he was in the corner. I was telling him change the picture. And he was in the corner facing the other side of the room as if he was in timeout. And he was holding it and saying, my precious, my precious. And he wouldn't let go of the photograph. Folks, I kept putting the photo away. I kept turning it over. He kept turning it back. It was like a sugar addiction. I kept turning it over. He kept turning it back. Your story is your thesis sentence. I'm after a softness, and I'm going to work on everything that's soft in this painting and develop the softness. That's the volume of my music. That's the strength of my picture. That's the intensity, how much white's in my color, how strong it is, how soft it is. It has to be my story. And then, when I've established, this is the key we're all singing it in, then I say, how much of this dark can I put in? How dark can I go? Where can I go a little darker? But careful, stay away from the edges. Don't want that sharp line, can't have it. How much can I have? How much do I put in as I start to put this stuff in? Where can I have some of these darks? Can I do it? Do I not do it? And if it starts to take away, I'm constantly putting in, taking out, putting in, because I'm watching my story. And your story is all that matters, not your precious. This class is about you learning how to think and your choices. It is not about copying a picture. And yet we do train you to copy a picture because the more trained your eye is. But if you don't understand the purpose and the principle and what you're doing, then you missed it. Okay, any questions? Because I think I went over my 3 or 4 minute hope. It's because he interrupted with his photograph. Okay, done. Pretty simple, isn't it? Halftone. Halftone is your story. Now, artists call. No. So when you take this and you say, okay, so, oh, my drawing's off. I ran out of work here. So when I say, what's the percentages of dark? What's the percentages of light? And what's the percentages of medium? That's called a Notan. And the Notan has its own psychological implications. But without the halftone, you don't know how dark to make this. You don't know how dark to make that. And this, because that carries your message. So the quality of light, is it a rainy day, a sunny day? Is it draining, is it drizzly? Is it snowy? What is it? The quality of light is based on your halftone. And the sum of your values of your halftone is the Notan. So the art world uses 3 words, quality of light, halftone, and Notan, interchangeably, and they're not. And I think the star is your halftone. Because right now I lost the mood, didn't I? And it took how long? 1 stroke. The 1 minute from you being off target with your story. 1. Every stroke is held accountable to your message. Every stroke. The minute you make a diagonal line, girl in prison. You know? A vertical line, uplifting and strength. There's hope for this kid. And you change these marks. All this stuff changes your message. Doesn't even look like this picture. This picture is right here and right here. And the value of these areas. And that's it. And you forget the hat. That's the picture. Right there's the picture. Get that right. And then your mind will say, be careful. You put that dark in, you're going to mess it up. How much of the dark can I get away with? I don't know. That could depend on the size of the picture too. If it's a small, little intimate drawing meant to be seen from 3 feet away, a foot away, then maybe you can get away with less dark. But if this is a 40-inch drawing, you might be able to get away with a bigger scale, bigger size. And I don't think what you did in the small drawing may not be the same answer with a large drawing. So if I don't train you to think and analyze what you're doing and keep stepping back, how else can you explain Sergeant making 2-3 brush strokes and then running back 10, 15, 20 feet to look at his drawing for 5 minutes? And then loading his paint with some color, make 2-3 strokes and run back for 10 or 15 minutes or 5 minutes or 20 seconds. Somebody's thinking. And he must be saying, what am I missing? What can I use? If I do this, what happens? How does that change? And he's like Zorro, and he makes 2 strokes and he steps back and looks at it for another 10, 20 seconds. We want to sit at the desk and just paint. Now I'm way over my 4 minutes. Needed my timer. I gotta do that. And I don't know how I'm gonna explain to my doctor at the end of the week, paint and charcoal all over this cast, this thing that's supposed to stay clean. And he clearly said, do nothing with it this week. This is Monday. Class just started. This isn't good. I got 2 weeks.